sky bleeds gold. Lanterns flicker on the road. Door swings, voices roar. Boots to bench and steel to floor. They face their wars. I raise my glass. I face the stones and froze. She's a knight in battered prayer. Sees her laughing in the halls, sunlight tangled in her hair. Turns the volume up to drown every doubt that she's not there. In his room of iron dreams, he holds her hand in burning scenes. Every heartbeat swings a sword, carves her name into the storm. In his room of iron dreams, he builds a world of golden steam, where she rides beside his flame, and he's worthy of her windows rattle, walls fall down, posters curl to towers crown, carpet cracks to mountain stone. He will never stand alone. She is charging at his side, eyes like banners in the night. He's brave enough to bleed for a chance to let her sing. In his room of iron dreams, he holds a hand in burning scenes. Every heartbeat swings a sword, carves her name into the storm. In his room of iron dreams, he swears one day he'll cross that screen, walk the hallway, speak her name, turn the fantasy to flame. Till that day, behind this door, he's a hero on this floor, raising ghosts and battle cries, whispering her name to the fields grow small, he'll walk these rows in memory when duty builds its walls. But now he runs like a battle cry through cathedral halls of green, every stalker sworn ally in the war for one free dream. One free dream. One free your hand to the empty sky, fields of the truants, call his name. Graves like a golden tide, wash the dust of desk away. He trades his books for waking dreams, under a sun that breaks the rules. Metal heart, young and wild, skipping fate, skipping school. Let the bell keep ringing in a town that never knew how a boy became a legend in the fields he wandered through. Boxes in the dust, keys on a rusted nail, old boards creak like ghosts, wind carves its ancient trail. Gravel on my boots, hard like a loaded gun. Thought I came here to be alone, to vanish from everyone. Then I saw her in the meadow, hair wild in the storm, bare feet in the black soil, like the earth had grown her form. In these fields of fortress, brick on bit of brick. Swore I'd never kneel again, never let it stick. But she walks through my war zone, bare hands, steady eyes, turns my rust to rivers, my curses into cries. If this is surrender, let the heavens break, let the walls sing witness to every vow we make. Blade of wire, I came to this house to disappear, but I hold you near in fields of steel and fire. White rim, cold couch, 4 a.m. Same fight, new small wound, her voice filling up the room. His name on a list of chores, calendar marked like prisoners. One more year off, maybe then he stares through the window, counts to 10. Alone at last, I break these borrowed chains and walk through the ash and dance inside the flames. I lay my ring down like a dead dull star. I finally meet the man I always was, alone at last. Boxer shirts, dust on the floor, one bag leaned by the door, car keys cold in his hand, his heart beating louder than the plans. She throws every word like stones, history stacked like broken bones. I gave you everything, she cries. He says I gave it too, but now I choose my life. retail walls, cheap beer and late night calls. He lets it ring, lets it die, whispers to the ceiling. I survive. Morning light on an empty seat, silence tasting sharp and sweet. He laughs too loud in a crowded bar, buys one ticket, drives too far. Mountain road and an open sky, window down, he starts to cry. Not from loss, from feeling alive. Finally home. By the door, backpack ready, ticket on the fridge, heartbeat steady. He woke up to the thunder in the gutters, clouds like giants crowding all the sky. Mom says maybe later in the kitchen. Dad just shrugs and checks the weather twice. Toy sword at his side like a bad If the heavens listen when we call, grant a fleeting glory for the smallest of them all. Give me one clear sky for a little boy's parade. Let the storm roll by, leave the world unafraid. Just a small bright day for our tired laughing clan. Let the clouds break open to the blue above this land. Let the sun crown our tiny caravan. Step, first warm ray, raindrops fade, he leads the way, for a sky of one good day. spit hooks and a filthy net. Boot print stands where the mud runs red. He laughs low at the warning sign. Bleached jawbone on the rotting pine. Cast line hisses through midnight air. Steel teeth sink where the dark says dare. Yo! Cross the line on the river of the road. Blood, warm current and a heart of stone. Scars like armor in the undertow. He is the crown of the killing flow. This is his world. This is his world. On the river of the yellow eyes in the glass black stream, breaking through like a waking dream. Ancient rage in a patient frame, breath like thunder in a cage of fangs. Silent trail through the swirling silt, low weight curls where the shadow tilts. One sharp swirl and the boat spins twice. He feels claws in the rolling tide. Cross the line on the river of the road. Blood, warm current and a heart of stone. Scars like armor in the undertow. He is the crown of the killing flow. This is his world. This is his throne. On the river of the hunter hunted, table turned. Cold green sermon, let it burn. Circle tighter, circle slow. Hearts beat louder, down below.